repeat that, but just...
Wait, tell me what you say. Okay, 1 second. All right, go ahead.
This is Bill Federer.
Okay, this is the wonderful Bill Federer. I just bought his book. This is America's God and Country, Encyclopedia of Quotations. Godly quotes from our forefathers and great men of history like Martin Luther King, George Washington, and, just so many Congress, Supreme Court of the past. And I was so inspired by him. I believe it was 8th grade it came to.
Maybe I can be famous like you too.
I know, that's the goal, right? So we love, the reason you want to get famous is so you can get the message out, right? I mean, the goal's not famous. People that want to be famous, they don't want to be famous anymore.
Yeah.
Anyways, so it's a service, really, if you use it right. Anyway, so he inspired me so much in my youth at Victory Christian School, and so I followed him for years. I rebought this book. He gave us the first one in 8th grade. I lost it in my storage. I bought it again, and then he's here in Branson today. And so he's telling us how we can change the world. So I wanted him to give us a few points about, you said you can either be part of the solution, someone who's just sitting by, or someone who's actually adding to the problem. What are you saying about that?
Right, so when you look at history, every generation has a crisis, and the crisis is an opportunity for the people that are alive in that generation to respond. And so I use the illustration of a freshman chemistry class, and you have a beaker with a solution, and you pour in a catalyst that causes a reaction, and some things precipitate, get heavy, falls at the bottom, other turns into bubbles and floats to the top. So the solution is the era that we're living in. The catalyst is the problem that generation goes through. And we get to let a reaction happen. Are we going to be part of the problem, or are we going to be part of the answer? And when you realize that our life needs to be a witness, people say, well, I'll give my life to Jesus. It's like, okay, it's not just the dying part that he's interested in, it's your whole entire life. And so if you think of it, if we would have lived during the era of Attila the Hun, or Genghis Khan, or the bubonic plague, whatever that crisis was, we'd be called upon to respond, either being part of the answer or ignore the problem, or be part of the solution, ministering God's love and grace to a hurting and dying world, and standing up for righteousness, defend the defenseless. And so I think of God knew Abraham's heart, and yet he told Abraham, I want to see you take your son Isaac to the top of Mount Moriah and be willing to kill him. God knew what was in his heart, but he wanted to see it. And this is the idea of, if a guy's couch potato watching TV, and you come up to him and you say, hey, when was the last time you told your wife you love her? I can't remember, but she knows my heart. Like, when was the last time you did anything to show your wife you love her? I can't remember, she knows my heart. It's like, dude, we need to have a little talk here. It's like, well, God knows my heart. Yes, he does know your heart, but he wants to hear some words out of your mouth. He wants to see some actions, right? You witness, you believe in your heart, but you will express that through the words, right? You believe and you confess, and then you do something with your life. So your whole life is witnessing Christ to the hurting and dying world. And so, we're facing a crisis right now. If we get through this, there'll be another one. We get through that, there'll be another one. Every generation has a crisis. And Jesus says the wheat and tares grow together till the harvest. We want to turn things around. We want to work to turn things around because we care about the next generation. But also the Lord's looking at us to see how are we going to respond. Sort of a self-sorting out of the sheep and the goats. It's not the ultimate sorting out of the sheep and the goats.
By the way, he's heard it.
Yeah,
so good. Love that one. Great.
But so we're letting ourselves decide and showing the Lord whose side we're on. But anyway, I'm so proud of you, Camilla and Haley, for the great work you're doing, and I want to thank you all for watching.
Yay!
Thanks for watching.
I'm so excited. Thank you so much for the Wow.